I think the number one most difficult thing for people who have an alcoholic in the family is for the family members to understand that alcoholism is not a sign of a weak character, a weak moral character. That's not how it works. Anybody can become an alcoholic, like anybody can catch a cold. I mean, I know a lot of people are going to have a problem with this, but if you want to evolve in your thinking, you might want to listen a little bit further instead of the usual reactionary emotions and the ego. Take that out of it and maybe listen to something that actually makes sense and that works. When you were an 11, 12-year-old kid, when you were thinking when you were going to grow up, I'm going to be a doctor, I'm going to be a rock star, I'm going to be, I'm going to be a lawyer, I'm going to be a teacher, I'm going to be an astronaut. The one thing nobody ever has a goal of is, I'm going to grow up and become an alcoholic. Nobody has that goal. Subsequently, it's not something anybody consciously seeks out. Like any disease, it's something that happens by itself, independently. It can be cultural, it can be peer pressure in youth. Most people start their careers, alcoholic careers, between the ages of 13 and 20. It's something that slowly develops over time. It's not a moral issue. Now, other ways people start is the average person who starts between 12 and 15, under 15, they have a 5 times higher chance of becoming an alcoholic later in life. Also, somebody has trauma in their life. They were abused as a child. Maybe they got sexual abuse, neglect, post-traumatic stress syndrome. You never know how somebody starts. Calling it a moral issue is just incorrect, because no one starts out saying, I want to be a bum on the street. No one. So you have to realize, as a family member or somebody who's in the vicinity of an alcoholic, judgment really is coming from the person where the judge is coming from. People who cast stones and want to talk about moral issues, well, maybe you should look in the mirror, because it's really more about your ego and your own morality. You can't force that on other people, because you don't know the shoes that person walked in. You don't know the path that person walked in. And you cannot sit there and go, it's a moral issue. That's not the case, ever. And the last thing I want to say is judgment really has nothing to do with the alcoholic and everything to do with the person who is judging, doing the judging. It doesn't help the person, and it certainly doesn't help the alcoholic. Driving somebody down, riding on them in their most vulnerable state helps no one, and it doesn't accomplish anything other than your own ego. So again, if any of this resonates with you, these kind of scenarios make sense to you, click on the link above. I've helped thousands of alcoholics. Schedule a breakthrough call. Again, we have a Facebook group called Amanda, A Cautionary Tale of Alcoholism. It's growing by leaps and bounds. Again, like, share, and comment. And thanks for listening.